Let me ask you a question. When you watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drive to the basket and draw a foul, how does that make you feel? For a lot of people, the answer is one word: enraged. Recently, a post by Brick Center went viral, claiming Shai was flopping on every single play. This video got 6.5 million views, and the comments were brutal. The new NBA logo. This is the most fraudulent MVP. And most importantly, he's too talented to be doing this. These plays were only from the first quarter alone. And at this point, the NBA cannot ignore this. SGA is about to win his second straight MVP. The Thunder are favorites to win their second straight title. Shai is just 27 years old, and he should be the face of both a potential dynasty and the entire NBA. Instead, he's become the face of everything fans hate about basketball. Because let me hit you with another number: 57.5. That is Shai's free throw rate for the current NBA playoffs, or the percentage of times he gets fouled on a field goal attempt. Not only is this number easily the highest among any guard in the NBA, it's also 14% higher than Shai's free throw rate last playoffs, which means the flopping is getting worse because the NBA is not just allowing it to take place, the NBA is actively rewarding it. Right now, we are watching the Lakers lose their minds trying to play this Thunder team. Reeves is begging the refs to do something because, while Shai is the poster child of the foul merchant movement, he is certainly not the only player who is being rewarded for selling calls. It's become contagious.
But again, the Lakers' philosophy is anybody but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is a big-time acting job by Chet Holmgren.
This was originally a foul on DeAndre Ayton, as Chet laid on the ground and pretended he had a broken jaw. But the Lakers challenged and it was overturned. Chet faced no consequences for flopping. LeBron, who himself is certainly no stranger to flop allegations, we're just being honest, but was so frustrated by how the refs were calling this game that he went off.
Responsibility for AJ Mitchell. And
this is what happens when the league rewards flopping. Frustrations reach all-time highs, and we see even more flopping. In the 2025 Western Conference Finals, Shai took 14 or more free throws in 3 of the 5 games he played. Anthony Edwards already knew this was coming. In game 1 of this series, the following play took place.
You're not giving up an easy 2 in a conference final.
Gilgeous-Alexander this time draws the foul. T-Wolves upset.
Anthony Edwards is essentially the anti-Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Ant has a low foul rate. He is what some would consider an ethical hooper. But it's right here where I think we need to get real with each other. I already know that some people think this whole situation is overblown. Trust me, I've been reading the comments from every direction. And that might be you. To be fair, Shai does drive to the basket at one of the highest rates in the league. And there are guys like Luka who shot more free throws than Shai this season. So Shai's defenders do have stats to fall back on. But the eye test, what we are watching in a single basketball game, does not need stats. It just needs us to see to believe. And what we see is Shai jumping into defenders to draw contact, throwing his head back as a defender bumps him 18 feet away from the basket, and smiling as he shoots free throw after free throw. The stats can say what they want, but the clips you are watching in this very video will do their own talking. On Pat McAfee, Tyrese Halliburton was directly asked if he thought that this was ruining the game of basketball. His response:
there are children watching this guy. They're going to be copying him.
Stop it.
No.
It's so overblown.
Overblown.
It's a lot. Come on, guys. What do you mean? Selling is a part of the game. You guys flopping, selling, it's a part of basketball.
And Tyrese is right in this clip. The Shai situation is being a bit overblown for Shai, not because he isn't the foul merchant that people are saying he is, but because flopping and selling has become an agreed upon part of basketball. It's very simple. If the best players in the world flop to get calls and are named MVP while doing so, the rest of the players in the league are going to do the same. If the NBA doesn't penalize players for playing like this, why wouldn't new guys come into the league and think, hey, if I can get more free throws, I'll get paid more, and so I'm going to flop more. Tyrese thought he was defending Shai in this clip. What he was really doing was telling us we need to just sit back and accept that watching flopping is now a part of basketball games, whether we enjoy it or not. Because due to some unfortunate evidence I've found, I'm not positive that flopping is going anywhere anytime soon. But before we continue, I'm very excited to thank DraftKings for sponsoring today's video. And Pick 6 is DraftKings' newest sports pick'em game. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a chance to win big. It's live in most states like California, Texas, or Georgia. And the best part about Pick 6 is that DraftKings offers promos to give players a winning edge, because players are guaranteed a minimum multiplier if they win their pick set. But multipliers can skyrocket if players nail their picks versus their competition. So basically, the better you do against the field, the bigger payout you get. Again, all you have to do is select more or less of 2 or more players' stats. Picks must be from 2 or more teams, and a single athlete cannot be picked twice in one pick set. Players then compete against others who have the same number of picks in their pick set. So new DraftKings customers, use promo code CORZEMBA and play $5 to get $50 instantly in bonus picks. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and ride the upside. That's promo code CORZEMBA. New DraftKings customers, $50 in bonus picks instantly if you play just $5. Make sure to download the DraftKings Pick 6 app. Thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back into that video. But let's stay real for now. Even if you do think that this is overblown, it's important that we look at what is happening around us. Way too many casual fans of basketball hate this brand of the game. They are calling the NBA unwatchable. They're saying Shai is a propped up MVP and the league is trying to make him a superstar by giving him the benefit of a whistle. You might be a diehard fan who thinks there is nothing wrong with this, but I will bet that you have a lot of friends who watch the NBA casually who will say that they turn off games the second that they see flopping take place. And honestly, most of us don't want to watch a basketball game where players are driving to the basket with a hope to get fouled and not to actually make a basket. But due to the fact that stars such as Tyrese Halliburton are benefiting from these calls themselves, most of them aren't going to come out and call out Shai, which is actually unfortunate for a completely separate reason. Let's think on this for a second. In a vacuum, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is actually who we should love as a basketball player. He was just the 35th player in his high school class, defied the odds, became the 11th player taken in the draft, then made an unexpected launch into superstardom. He's the kind of underdog story that made MVPs such as Giannis and Jokic fan favorites. He is also undoubtedly one of the hardest workers in the league, something we all value, and he plays for a small market team. If Shai had the playstyle of Anthony Edwards, would we love him like he was Kobe Bryant? He won a title for the Thunder when Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook couldn't. He should be a generational fan favorite, but because of the flopping, because of the selling calls, a lot of fans do not appreciate Shai's style of play. They don't care that he is an automatic mid-range jumper, that in the clutch he's one of the most dependable players in the league. They just see him sell a call and say, I'm out. And so let me ask you another question. Do you think the NBA can fix this? Doesn't it feel like it would be as simple as just awarding technical fouls for flopping as well as giving out fines? Wouldn't that pretty much instantly solve the league's problem here? All it would take was watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting thrown out of an NBA basketball game for flopping on national television, and suddenly he and every other star would not want to flop due to the fact that they just got exposed. That sounds like it would make sense, but here's the thing. The NBA has already tried to stop flopping all the way back in the 2013 season, or at least they put in a rule that would make the fans happy. Because before the 2013 season, the league made it official. They were going to fine players for flops, saying that after the first violation, they would give a warning, and then increasing fines would come after that, and after a 6th violation, the possibility for a suspension would come into play. Many people have completely forgotten the NBA did this because the league itself almost never enforced their own rules. Marcus Smart was pretty much the only guy who was fined for flopping. He was fined $5,000 on this play.
Kicking it. Crowder? No. And Smart went flying underneath the hoop. Remember, he bruised his ribs in game 2, landed hard there.
And after this fine, it seemed like the rule just disappeared. Only, get this, in 2024, the league also approved technical fouls for flopping. This rule exists right now. It is currently in the rule book. The NBA just chooses not to use it or enforce it at all. Let's think back to Chet flopping on Aiden. The NBA reviewed that play, overturned the call, but then did not give Chet a technical, even though the only way they could overturn that call was by admitting that Chet had flopped. So what is the NBA's explanation here? Well, to me, it feels like the league has no real reason why they shouldn't enforce their rules, as the fan complaints continue to pile up. But I do have a theory why they are not acting, because they've fixed situations like this before. Back in the 2010 season, Kevin Durant had perfected a cheat code in basketball, the rip-through. He realized that if a defender put his hands too close to him, KD could immediately throw up a shot, and he would also force a shooting foul almost every time. In the 2010 season and before that, this play was called a shooting foul, and KD led the entire league in free throw attempts. Sounds similar? But then, people were fed up watching fake basketball like this, because while KD technically wasn't breaking any rules, he wasn't actually trying to shoot a basketball. He was just trying to get to the free throw line. So the NBA ended up making this a non-shooting foul, and then guys like Joel Embiid and Chris Paul still abused it, because you could still use it to draw fouls on players in general, or get to the free throw line if the other team was in the bonus. And because refs are inconsistent, sometimes they would call it a shooting foul anyway. But the NBA went further. In 2024, they said it was a non-basketball move, and sometimes no foul would be called at all. So sometimes a player would just turn it over. Now we do see a lot less rip-throughs, proof that if you enforce the rules, things will work, but also proof that if you don't hammer down on a rule completely, like the flopping rules they apparently put into place, nothing is going to actually change. The proof of change came with James Harden. From 2015 to 2020, Harden led the NBA in free throw attempts every single season. Was he a superstar scorer in general? Yes. Was he also manipulating how basketball was played? Yes. In a single season, Harden drew 124 fouls on three-point attempts alone. A lot of us hated the way refs were handling how James Harden played, and the NBA responded to this backlash. Most notably, the rule that has stuck is that you cannot kick out your leg on a shot so that a defender accidentally trips you. The Harden rules in general were supposed to be, essentially you cannot make fake contact on shots to draw fouls, aka you're not supposed to purposely be able to jump into a defender if he attempts to block your shot. You have to have a natural shooting motion there. But we've recently seen Shai and others jump into defenders and draw fouls. Again, if the NBA is not absurdly strict on their rule changes, they don't work. But you would think with flopping, the NBA would just fully do something about this. Even if you are on the camp that this is overblown, I don't think you like flopping. I don't think any of us like flopping. So why doesn't the NBA fix it? It's the same reason why they've never enforced the flopping rules they've already created. The players get legitimately embarrassed for getting called out for flopping. It's really that simple. Even though making a push to stop flopping would make a lot of casual basketball fans and diehard fans very happy, the NBA currently has chosen to not anger their own stars. If a guy like Shai were thrown out of a game for flopping, it would negatively affect his basketball brand, and the league would hear it from his agents, from his sponsors, from possibly the Players Association. All of those things, unfortunately, are affecting why the NBA will not put this rule change in place. Because any sort of logic tells us the league should police flopping to a much larger degree. For this video, I did my homework. I looked at Reddit threads, I looked at X, Instagram, wherever you could look at fan reactions. I was there and I was seeing way too many people say that the current NBA product is unwatchable. And with the NBA Finals right around the corner, we are going to see a new level of scrutiny. The most watched basketball event of the year is going to have some casual fans tuning in for the first time since last June. It's the league's biggest opportunity to draw in new fans. And those people might very well see the back-to-back MVP jumping into defenders, and they're going to see the whistle getting blown, and they're going to see that man getting free throws. Then they will turn off their TVs. The NBA has a flopping rule in place it refuses to enforce, but they did change the rules for James Harden. The playbook for success for them is there. The only question is, how loud do we have to be until the league listens? So there we have it. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did, I really think you're going to like the videos that are on the screen. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and cue that music.